6. I hereby appoint the Honorable Mike Kennedy to act as Speaker pro tempore on this day. Signed, Mike Johnson, Speaker of the House of Representatives.
Pursuant to the order of the House of January 6, 2026, the Chair now recognizes members from lists submitted by the majority and minority leaders for morning hour debate. The Chair will alternate recognition between the parties with time equally allocated between the parties, and each member, other than the majority and minority leaders and the minority whip, limited to 5 minutes, but in no event shall debate continue beyond 1:50 p.m. The Chair recognizes the gentlewoman from the Virginia Islands, Ms. Plaskett, for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise today in recognition of Virgin Islands History Month, a time to honor the extraordinary story of a people whose courage, resilience, and sacrifice have shaped not only our beautiful islands, but this great nation itself. 108 years ago, on March 31st, 1917, the islands of St. Croix, St. Thomas, and St. John were transferred from Denmark to the United States in the costliest per-acre land purchase in American history. The $25 million in gold bullion paid for our islands was shipped to Copenhagen from the United States. No provisions were made for the people who live there. No vote was taken by Virgin Islanders themselves. Many great nations and conquerors have tried to keep us voiceless, marginalized, and yet strong, good, blessed people can never be kept down. We have always found a way from our beginning until today. Virgin Islanders have always been revolutionary. From the very first recorded history of our islands, the people of II, present-day St. Croix, met Columbus with the first armed resistance in the so-called New World. In the 1700s, the Aquamu people of St. John held their freedom for almost a year, forcing colonial powers to bring an armada to break their hold. In 1848, we became one of only 2 places in the Western Hemisphere to gain freedom from direct, violent overthrow of enslavement. Our islands gave this nation Alexander Hamilton, who learned his genius for finance in the merchant house of St. Croix, from African counting systems, Dutch ledgers, and others. We have given the United States Abraham Marco, the designer of the 13 stripes in the American flag. Denmark Vesey gave up his freedom in pursuit of liberation in South Carolina. Edward Wilmot Blyden, our son, the father of Pan-Africanism. Camille Pissarro, the founder of Impressionism. William Leidesdorff, the early pioneer and founder of present-day San Francisco. In the mid-1900s, Virgin Islanders came to Washington and petitioned to be included in the draft, asking to send our sons to defend a country that would not yet defend us. We have given America generals, diplomats, statesmen, scientists, artists, and athletes. We have sacrificed in the military service at 3 times the national average. Fighting for a commander-in-chief we do not elect. I am a limited voting delegate. I serve on committees. I fight for my constituents. I show up every single day. But when the final vote is called on legislation that will directly affect my people, the people of the Virgin Islands, I cannot cast a vote. We are full Americans in responsibility, partial Americans in right. That must change. Our territory has faced enormous challenges. Hurricanes Irma and Maria devastated our infrastructure, tested the will of our people. We still rebuild. We are fighting for SSI expansion so that elderly and disabled Virgin Islanders receive the same federal safety net their fellow Americans on the mainland receive. We are fighting for inclusion of territories in federal programs that every other American takes for granted. We are fighting, as we have always fought, for the full promise of an American dream to extend to our shores. And we have tools now that our ancestors did not. Federal investment in our ports, our energy grid, our schools, community project funding, a growing network of advocates. But tools are only as powerful as the hands that wield them. So we observe Virgin Islands History Month. I want to speak directly to every Virgin Islanders. We are the descendants of people who refuse to accept their circumstances as permanent. We are the heirs of a revolutionary tradition that predates this republic, and we have the power to reimagine and rebuild a Virgin Islands that our ancestors would recognize as worthy of everything they endured. That means engaging fully in our democracy at every level. It means electing leaders who will fight for territorial equity. It means our young people pursuing education and eventually returning home to lead. It means our businesses innovating, our farmers growing, artists creating, community organizations building, and it means a local government managing systems that work for all and not just benefit a few. It means demanding loudly, persistently, with history behind us, and without cowering for fear, that this nation treat the people of the territories as full and equal American citizens we are. Let us celebrate in our actions Virgin Islands History Month. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
The chair will receive a message.
Speaker, messages from the Senate.
Mr. Speaker,
Madam Secretary.
I have been directed by the Senate to inform the House that the Senate has passed S. 2245, an act to amend the Digital Coast Act to improve the acquisition, integration, and accessibility of data of the Digital Coast program and to extend the program, in which the concurrence of the House is requested.
Chair now recognizes the gentleman from Pennsylvania, Dr. Joyce, for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise today to express my deep concern over the lapse in funding for the Department of Homeland Security. Every single day that we fail to provide DHS with the necessary resources, the risks facing the American people dramatically increase. The security of our homeland should never be a bargaining chip. Instead of prioritizing the safety of the American people, Democrats have chosen to weaponize the appropriations process for political leverage. This is not how our democracy was founded to operate. Americans continue to bear the consequences of Democrats engaging in political theater. As we return to the floor for a vote, members of Congress must set aside partisan agendas and personal politics. Our first duty is to protect the citizens that we serve. With the war in Iran, we have watched an increase in global instability. In moments like this, we should be strengthening our homeland security posture and not allowing it to lapse. An unfunded Department of Homeland Security sends the wrong message to our adversaries and leaves our homeland vulnerable. It is neither a safe or a responsible act. It is a failure of Congress not to have met one of its most fundamental obligations. The American people deserve better. The American people deserve leadership that puts their safety first. It is time to end the theatrics. It is time to fund DHS. It is time to fulfill and protect this nation. Thank you. Mr. Speaker, I rise to recognize a native of McConnellsburg, Pennsylvania, Jordan Ott, who is a head coach of the Phoenix Suns. As a three-sport athlete at McConnellsburg High School, Coach Ott has always dreamt of working for a professional sports team. And that goal was recognized in 2013 when he joined the Atlanta Hawks as a video coordinator. Coach Ott went on to serve as an assistant coach with 3 NBA teams. Last June, he was hired as the head coach of the Suns, where he was named NBA's Western Conference Coach of the Month for January. A former high school teammate described Coach Ott as someone who will accomplish everything and take credit for nothing. What a coach. That's a character trait worth emulating by individuals throughout all of Pennsylvania's 13th congressional district. In fact, it's worth emulating throughout all of America. Best wishes to Coach Ott for continued success, and that extends his incredible expectations that will continue to rise throughout the NBA. Thank you. Mr. Speaker, I rise to honor the Snyder family of Bedford County, Pennsylvania, on their selection of their operation as a recipient of the National Beef Quality Assurance Award. Singing Brook Farm is a third-generation farm currently managed by Ross Snyder and his sister, Greta Hallahan. Founded by Obie and Marianne Snyder in 1951, Singing Brook Farms was later operated by their son, Bruce. Notably, Singing Brook Farms is an established leader in education and advocacy. Congratulations to the Snyder family on receiving the National Beef Quality Assurance Award. Your commitment to agriculture continues to benefit all of the constituents of Pennsylvania's 13th Congressional District. Thank you. Mr. Speaker, it is with pride that I rise to honor the Claysburg-Kimmel Elementary first LEGO League team that captured the championship in the Best Robot Design category during recent competition. What is most impressive about the achievement of these 5th and 6th graders is that they were the first LEGO club at Claysburg-Kimmel Elementary that only formed last fall. During the competition, students demonstrated their robot creations and offered presentations on how their robots would function in real-world settings. Congratulations to this team from Claysburg-Kimmel, their teachers and coaches, Susan Wicker and Brandon Ickes, as well as elementary school principal Kevin Edmondson and Superintendent Darren McLaurin, on this incredible achievement. Best wishes for continued success. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I yield back.
The chair recognizes the member from Delaware, Representative McBride, for 5 minutes.
Mr. Speaker, I rise today at an inflection point for our nation.